Welcome back to Pop Tabs, keeping tabs on all your pop culture news. I'm your host, Matthew Yapp.
I am your co-host, Mayzie Brammer.
Joining us today is...
Tyler Wheatley.
Oh my gosh!
We love him.
And Skelecat. How you doing, buddy?
It didn't do the thing.
It didn't. It was a failed bit. We like Skelecat. We like a lot of stuff. Do you know what we like the most?
What do we like the most?
This isn't a real story. We're just going to throw this in real quick. So, for 11 minutes, Twitter went back to being good today.
Gosh, it was so good.
A whole 11 minutes.
A whole 11 minutes.
My skin cleared up, my crops were like flourishing.
So basically, a Twitter contractor, when he was like leaving, like he wasn't gonna work there anymore, and so he was leaving, and he deactivated Donald Trump's account for 11 minutes.
Oh my god.
It was so good. I love it.
It's so amazing.
I can't even be mad about that, like not at all. Just the fact that he was just like that savage. He's just like, you know what?
So pour one out for that guy. Like they haven't released his name yet, but you're our hero. Like real recognizes real.
I hope he doesn't get in trouble, or she. I hope they don't get in trouble.
I hope it's she.
Me too.
I love feminist women creating
Me
big
too.
movements. Anyway.
You know what? Okay. We just had to mention that. It was great.
Anyways,
Honestly.
also good things that are happening right now is horror movies are good again, kind of. Maybe.
Maybe a little.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Sort of. So for the first time ever, like literally ever, in the box office, horror movies collectively went over $1 billion, which is like really big because the genre doesn't usually it doesn't have big sales.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Now you also have to account that with like inflation and stuff. Cause like now it's easier. Yeah. But anyways.
Don't keep it negative.
But no, yeah, like we said, this is the first time ever it crossed over 1 billion, and that can finance a couple Avatar movies.
Yeah, literally.
You mean like the next handful that we're going to get?
Unfortunately.
That aren't horror movies? Can we do horror movie Avatar?
The next logical step.
I don't.
Honestly,
want to.
I want the
Avatar itself, the original one, actually grossed $3 billion in the box office, so that made
God.
triple the amount the entire genre's made. So, like, not that good for horror movies, but still a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
It, like the movie It, not the genre, but It, grossed, I think it was around $400 million, which is the biggest, horror movies ever done. Happy Death Day premiered at number one. Get Out was a really big moneymaker, and so we've this year seen a lot of horror movies ending up at the top of the box office charts for kind of the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Horror movies have been kind of rough lately.
Yeah.
They haven't been good.
To me, the common theme in all of the three movies you just mentioned are they're really well made.
Yeah.
I actually don't. I haven't seen Get Out. I've just only heard great things about it. Okay, stop it. I know there are great reviews for it. I know it's different. It's not just jump scares, anymore. It's psychological and tapping into topics we don't talk about. And it's just really cool. It was cool that we got we had an African American male be not bad. He was the victim and he was scared and he wasn't hyper masculine.
Honestly, we
so awesome.
We had a black guy live through a whole entire horror movie, guys.
We actually did.
We did it. This is what all the social justice movements have been working towards.
Forget the money.
Forget that. A black guy lived through a horror movie.
Yes.
It's an accomplishment in itself. Just the fact, even if he is the main character, the fact that he still lived, because just 30 years ago, that he's the main character. Nah, he's gonna die 15 minutes in.
No.
Spoiler alert. Towards the end of the movie, it looked like he was about to die too, and I was like, I knew it.
Honestly, I was just
too good to be true.
There was we were there's no way it can ever happen.
And then it did, and we were so happy.
But yeah, so what do you guys think is Mayzie? You said really well made. Tyler, what do you think is kind of the change that is shifting towards horror movies being bigger moneymakers?
Yeah, I feel like it's just not cheesy anymore. We're not going for these just really predictable jump scares and just throwing in awkward music in places and then you're just oh my god, jump scare. It's not predictable anymore. They're going for psychological things that were either uncomfortable or all related to in some kind of way. Get Out was clearly racial tension and a whole family that's clearly super messed up. And then we're just all right, yeah, we can relate to this. And then It, I feel everyone hates clowns, even if you don't want to say it. Everyone hates clowns, and that's fine. But it dealt with just fear in general, rather than just we're gonna have very predictable jump scares every 30 seconds, and then we're gonna have a lull of it for 15 minutes, and then another jump scare.
Yeah.
I feel just production quality's gone up.
I think what the difference, at least in my opinion, is that horror movies very much used to be is they were just trying to see how scared they could get you, how many jump scares, how much you'd jump in your seat. And it's kind of transitioned over to more let's see if we can make a good movie with horror elements. Because like
I would
I don't
agree.
think it. Some people say it's like really scary, but It, Get Out, Happy Death Day, none of them were really like terrifying movies.
Yeah.
They were all creepy. You were certainly unsettled, but none of them. I don't think any of the primary focus of any of them was to scare you. I think it's just kind of a shift in the genre to be more storytelling with horror elements rather than the horror elements being the only selling point.
I would agree. And when I watch like sort of older horror movies, something that really takes me out of it is like how predictable and like transparent and like one-sided the characters are. Like it's like a teenager and she's upset at her mom, and then like I don't like that. Like I want
she's
like
the virgin, she's the slut, he's the angry football player.
ugh. It's like I don't like that's been done already. So like I like the in it was about like it was about like a group of like teens, and they were all like actually friends, and like there was some like interesting stuff that like hadn't been talked about, and like and with even with Happy Death Day, like they touched on those like stereotypes, but like it wasn't about that. It was about like her becoming a better person, and like it kind of like it really surprised me, and like for me that's what would keep me like coming to the horror genre.
Right.
And like I think that's really awesome.
Something I'm a big fan of that, kind of like you said, is I like it when they call out those stereotypes. Like The Babysitter on Netflix, which is one of my favorite horror movies right now. Literally the entire thing was they straight up had it like in text pop up next to it like the whore, the virgin, like they like straight up just like called out the stereotypes, and I think that's fun when like you know the genre is kind of stupid. It, like you said, it's a lot of it's really like super like face value, transparent. It's fun when you can just like be like, haha, look, it's dumb.
Yeah,
I
pretty
like
much.
that.
I just feel like it's just gotten better. Just horror movies just completely have just gotten better. It's not like just like one aspect has kind of improved, just like the whole genre. Like you said, they've realized like it's not just jump scares anymore. It's like this creepy aspect that they want you leaving the theater being like, oh my god, I don't want to go home alone now.
Right, because the jump scare like only scares you in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And like you might think about it later, but like if it gets in your head, like when you're at home, you're like, man, that movie really
that's
scared
like
me.
my favorite style of horror. Not something that's just like I jumped a couple of times, because like I've gotten too good at predicting jump scares now, and like horror movies that rely on them heavily. So then you're just like chilling in your seat, like.
Ooh,
not
additionally,
scared.
the jump scares in it, like they were there, but they were like different. They were so good. Like each time it got me. Like and I saw it 3 times, and even the 3rd time, like having seen it, I was like, I knew the jump scare was coming, but it was just so like weird the way they did it. Like they made him like huge, and like it was a different kind of jump scare, which
It
I
really
think would
was.
also be interesting to like look into.
When Mayzie and I saw it together, we left the movie theater, and it was like midnight, and the parking lot was pitch black. And I just remember, like you said, it stayed with you that I was completely unsettled. That I sprinted to my car and left her behind.
He did.
I was like, hey, someone's gonna kill us.
Every
She's
man for
done.
himself. I don't want this.
Yeah, I was like, she's slower than me. I'm set. Like.
Thanks for that, by the way.
cool,
Thanks,
though.
Maddie.
No, it's completely
That
fine.
being said, what is your guys' favorite horror movie?
Oh god, I've seen so many. Like I said, I like the like really messed up ones that like just stay with you. Like Creep was a pretty good one for me.
That one's
Even like the
weird.
recent like Friend Request, it was like, I guess this like stereotypical social media kind of horror, but like the fact that I couldn't predict any of the scares throughout the entire movie messed with me the whole time. I legit was just on the edge of my seat, just like watching it, like I can't handle this. I can't handle this because I can't predict anything anymore. And that's what really got me. That's the kind of style I like, at least.
My favorite of all time is Scream. Scream is the best thing ever. I love it so much.
Why do you love it so
much? Because it's kind of similar to The Babysitter, that like it was what set up to the like calling out kind of meta horror movies thing. Because like a big part of theirs is they make horror movie rules, and one of the characters is really into horror movies, and he explains like kind of plot points the whole time. He's like, this is what happens, and this is what happens if you go alone. You die if you have sex, and like it's fun. I
was
like
nice.
that.
Those exact
nice.
horror movie stereotypes.
Yeah.
They are, really.
Also, the first 20 minutes of that movie is like the scariest thing ever. When she's like home alone and like he's just calling her, he's like, if you hang up again, I'm gonna come gut you. And like, what do you do when you're that isolated? It's a very nice
You
setup.
just keep the phone just
You're
like,
just like,
constantly on, and then you can just walk away.
There you go.
Just like, if you hang up again, I'm gonna kill you. And it's like, well, I guess I'm just gonna pay infinitely for my phone bill.
It's fun. Maisie, what's your favorite horror movie?
Well, no, I suck. I need to watch more horror movies, like because
Gasp.
honestly, I think my answer like despite everything, it contradicts everything I just said. It's The Exorcist because like I watched. It was the first horror movie I ever watched. First of all, great intro to the genre, and I was like 10, and it literally scared me so bad. Like I couldn't sleep, and it scared me because it was old. Like they had all the jump scares and like the religion, like, but it scared me because like the one scene that gets me is when like the possessed girl, I don't even, she's like sitting in like a hospital and they're doing tests on her, and I was like, that's old, and it really got to me. But like modern day, like I think it's a very like it's a movie that like you either love it or you hate it. Like I really liked The Babadook.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was.
I was Baba Shook.
It was my joke. No, it left me Baba Shook because of like all the psychological elements and like the like unpredictability of it. Like I loved The Babadook, and like I would watch it again. Like I think I've probably seen it like 5 or 6 times, and I just watch it like as if it's like a regular movie, not like I want to be scared. Like, but yeah, those two for sure. But I definitely need to watch more horror movies in my life.
Can I talk about like the most controversial thing with horror movies that I thought It Follows was awful?
Moving on. Now we're changing topics. We're switching away from horror movies, so Scalacat, you have to go. Sorry.
Scalacat.
Anyways, YouTube has recently announced that they're going to fix their demonetization problem, and I don't believe them.
They already said that before.
Yeah, but let's explain the situation first. So YouTube has been in what a lot of people are calling their Adpocalypse, and that basically means that a ton of content from creators is now getting demonetized if it's even like slightly unadvertiser friendly.
Yeah.
It all happened because like last April there was this big problem for advertisers where a bunch of huge companies like Coca-Cola, Toyota, like tons of companies that were like big payments towards YouTube were pulling their ads because there was these pictures going around of very not family-friendly videos with ads next to them. One that stuck out to me was an ISIS beheading video with a Coca-Cola ad right next to it. So as a company, you can see why you wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, they began pulling it. So YouTube was like, okay, our solution is we're gonna start demonetizing videos a little more strictly. And so they made an algorithm, and the algorithm since April has not gone well.
No.
At all.
No.
There's been reports of people who like literally if like you mention you're gay in your videos, your ads pulled.
Yeah.
If you people like Philip DeFranco, like bless up, love him. If you like are like reporting the news and making commentary on it, you get it pulled because you're showing those clips and you're talking about it. Even though big names like Stephen Colbert can talk about it all they want, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's and like another instance of it is Casey Neistat. He's like a really popular YouTuber, and like he's like the poster child of like YouTube. I mean, he has like 8 million subscribers. He posted a video about the Las Vegas terror attack, and he was literally just saying like, I'm gonna donate all of my AdSense from this video like to the relief of it. It was just like informing about it, and it wasn't showing any videos. It wasn't grotesque in any way or like you know, like exploiting it, and it got demonetized.
And that's the thing. His money from that video was going to charity to help, and YouTube was like, nope.
And it wasn't even like you could give like YouTube the benefit of the doubt, saying like, oh, maybe like it just got caught up. But like Twitter like tweeted him saying like, sorry, it falls within our guidelines. But on that same token, Jimmy Kimmel had a video. Literally, it was the #1 trending video on YouTube at that time about the terror attacks, and he got to keep all the AdSense from that. So like, are they being like selective and like who they're demonetizing? Like,
I think it has to go with fame. Popularity has always been the big name of the game. The more famous you are, the more popular you are, the easier it's going to be for you.
You gotta do what you want.
Exactly. And like, since these people are like YouTube famous, not like, there's like this whole like actual famous versus YouTube famous, where it's like, yeah, PewDiePie's like literally 50 million subscribers on YouTube, but like, no one's like, oh, he's a movie star. Like, you know, like
he's not going to be on E-News.
Exactly. Like, but he also can't get away with anything. But it, like you said, like Stephen Colbert, like they're going to get away with it because they're known. They're actually famous.
And
it's
I
just
think
going
it's
to make it
also
easier.
because like YouTube like sees their creators as expendable. Because like where else are they going to go?
Right.
Yeah.
Like if they know they can demonetize their videos, but like if they choose to leave YouTube, there's no other space where they can like create it.
Yeah.
Like
because like TV, like even if you have a lot of YouTube followers, TV doesn't necessarily care.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't
You're not gonna
translate.
get, because some people have translated over, like Hannah Hart got a show on Food Network.
Yeah,
Like
good
some people,
job for her.
Good for
but
her.
she still makes like money in AdSense, and like her
Yeah.
career started through YouTube.
Yeah.
So like,
On the note of like bigger people like being selective, and what YouTube has said and what some people have reported is that they are paying to push through the ad, like the ad blocks, and so they're paying to have the ads on there, and so that's why. But that's still, in my mind, unfair because like if you have this major network paying the ads, like have ads on there, but like smaller creators can't do that, it's kind of just screws over the little guy more.
yeah,
Like,
it's because YouTube makes money from advertisers,
Mm-hmm.
and then in turn, YouTube's creators make money from YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but like they, like I said, they see the creators as expendable, but they need the advertisement
Right.
revenue. That's what I'm trying to say. They need that money, and they can't like, the company can't survive without it, so they're
Yeah.
gonna like do whatever.
So, that being said, do you guys think YouTube has a right to be this strict with their thing? Because personally, even though it totally screws over the creators, at the end of the day, they're kind of employees of YouTube. So like, it's like at my job, I don't get to have like creative liberties and I don't get to do what I want. My employer at the end of the day gets the final call on like, this is what I can say, this is what I can do. And I think, unfortunately, even though these are like creative people and YouTube's a creative outlet, at the end of the day, you're at the mercy of your boss. And so I think, unfortunately, the creators kind of have to bend to the will of YouTube and be a little more family friendly if they want to make ads.
Yeah, I just think that like
yeah.
that gets really gray because the area of like family friendly, like YouTube can't like use the pride flag, for example, on their banner, but then like demonetize like
People saying,
LGBTQ content.
literally one person was just like in a video, they were like, I got engaged to a woman in that video.
Yeah, that's not.
Demonetized.
That's different from like creative expression. Like I want to be creative. Like no, you can't. Let's like I want to be who I am. That's like a little different. And
Yeah.
it's like the thing is like they don't address it. You
Right.
know, it's that's not okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a gray area. Obviously, you can't be like the most vulgar person in like every area and still make money on YouTube.
Right.
But like a lot of the people that I watch, just like the stereotypical teenager, I guess, boy that watches like gaming creators and all this. Like I watch it because it's funny and I like hearing them just be stupider than I am.
Yeah.
And it's like this is funny to me.
It's nice when someone is.
Yeah, it's like this is funny to me, but like then like every single one of them that I watch are just like I'm not making any money right now,
Yeah.
and it's like, but in all their videos it wasn't like this over the top horrible thing. They were literally just playing a game and then
Yeah.
not making any money and like being themselves, or they would like go out of their way to censor literally everything in the video besides like blurring out the whole video itself.
Right.
I feel like you said, YouTube is, you know, that's the boss who runs YouTube. They work for YouTube. But like with it being a creative organization, you can't stifle the creativity that you want to be
Right.
placed on there. Like you can't just break it all down and be like, nope, you can't do any of this.
Yeah.
It's almost like this unfair battle to them. Like, okay, what can I put on YouTube so I can actually make money?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. People, when they like the content, they keep coming to YouTube for the content. When then, like, also they're just like getting this weird kind of filtered version of what the content's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it will probably hurt views, but YouTube's a big company. They're not hurting for views at any
Yeah.
point in
No.
time.
They're not.
They're gonna stay big, and that's why I think at the end of the day, it just sucks for the creators. Because YouTube will keep making their money, just you won't.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, at least you see creators nowadays, like, Twitch has gotten so big, just like
Oh, yeah.
streaming. I mean, you can do like anything on Twitch now, even like IRL streaming. Like, there's literally social eating. You can just eat and talk to people. That's
I've
a
watched that
legitimate thing.
before.
What is this job?
No, that's literally all it is. But like, all of Twitch has just kind of boomed, and now people from YouTube are relying on Twitch to make money because you can directly donate to them.
Yeah.
And they can make more money for that, and then they don't have to worry about like editing themselves. Basically, to a sense, they don't have to like cut their personality. This is just who I am because it's live.
Yeah.
Because even though YouTube has said that their new fix for the algorithm is like going to, they said 30% of videos will be less like taken down, which is like, it's weird to me that you can just be like, 30% of it, I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah.
okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
But they've done this before, they have an algorithm fix and then it still sucks and everyone's depressed.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that people don't have to jump platform, but as I said, if you have to, isn't that kind of your own doing? Like,
yeah, I think it's just like people came to YouTube because like this is like a recent issue,
Yeah.
like of the last like year or so.
Yeah.
So like people came to YouTube, and like I think a reason why YouTube's so attractive to people is that like turnover of like viewership, because like some YouTubers have been like creating for like 10 years, and like they're not going to have the same like consistent viewership. Like you gain and you drop off and you add, and like YouTube provides that because the one thing they can consistently provide is people to watch the videos.
yeah.
But like, and monetization, like Facebook and Twitter try the monetization thing for because they're creators on those websites, but they're not known and they don't make money for it because it's really hard to get that. So like for YouTubers to like jump platform, they have to be like stable in that, and few are. Like a lot of even like smaller YouTubers really rely on that like AdSense revenue. So it would be ideal to just leave, but like it's not. It wouldn't be a smart decision for most people.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, there are some really big names, like Philip DeFranco again. He has his entire show now, since basically everything gets like ad dinged. He has his entire show like crowdfunded, like because he has an audience that's willing and able to do that. But say because there are like creators who have like 300,000 subscribers who they still make a living. It's not a good living, but it's a living to like continue to do what you love and make videos and do all that jazz. They're not going to be able to do anything like that. Like there's no way without ads.
But
they can
like
make
that
it.
being said, like YouTube gets to demonetize them, but then they still get to promote that like small creator thing. Like we want to help you.
We want to help
like
the little guy.
just then
But do
help
they?
them.
But they don't.
No.
They really don't want to
No.
help the little guy. They want to leech all their money off the big guys.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I can't be mad because at the end of the day, YouTube's a company. They don't care about creativity or the little guy.
They just
want
want
money.
They
which-
Exactly.
gotta come out with that then. They gotta stop bullshit.
They really do. They gotta stop just being like, oh no, we're doing stuff. We're here for you guys. And then it's like in the beginning, YouTube was supposed to not be TV. Like TV is this
Yeah.
like censored
Now they want it
version.
to be.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we want it to be this family-friendly TV. I'm like, no, I go to YouTube because I want to hear the things I can't hear on TV because I'm an
They're
awful
like, wait,
person.
we can make money off that? Oh, okay, let's just mess it up.
Like YouTube essentially was supposed to be like the HBO of TV.
Yeah.
And now it's turning into like ABC.
Oh no.
And
a good
I'm
Not
not.
analogy.
ABC.
dum dum dum.
The only good thing about
Bring
ABC
Scala
is
Cat
like,
back.
the only good thing about ABC is Harry Potter Week. And
That's the only.
Okay, that's
Can
fair.
YouTube start doing that? Like,
Okay,
Akin.
that's fair.
I'd forgive them if they did Harry Potter weekend.
No, like I feel like you can't just like be like, come in, welcome to the YouTube family, make all the content
Be
you want,
creative.
be creative, but not that way. Don't do that. You can't
Yeah.
do that. What about this? Not that either.
No.
And
No.
any of these things?
Can I be gay? No.
Nope.
No.
Like
No.
I follow a channel. They're called Cow Chop, and it's like a mix of like
Oh, yeah.
5 or 6 YouTubers. They literally made like a very satirical video called Ad Friendly, and it was just about like them being kidnapped by YouTube and being brainwashed and taking part of their brain to give it to like the machine to learn the algorithm and then like reprogram them to be friendly.
High key though, this is the best time to be like punk rock because like if there was
Yes.
ever a time to like rage against the machine
Yes.
and like do what you want,
Yes.
it's now.
I love seeing popular YouTubers like talk about this. They're like, this sucks, but like
Yeah.
that's like their job.
And it's like all of them saying it. There's
Yeah.
not just like a couple of them that are like, I'm not really making a lot of money. They're all like, I'm struggling.
I'm poor.
They're like,
Please give me money.
So that being said, we're pretty upset about it, and now for something that Maisie's really upset about. Maisie, would you like to lead us in?
Yeah. So we talked about it on a checkpoint. So
You're so sad.
I am. I'm sad. So following like the recent Harvey Weinstein stuff, people came out against Kevin Spacey, and it's all young men, and they accused him of assaulting him or like being, in some cases, like being in a relationship with him.
Yeah.
And obviously that's really wrong. And like I'm very upset. So like, cause like I looked up to him, and it's just really like jarring to me.
Yeah.
And like he came out, and people are mad because he came out, but he's also like a pedophile. Like it's all messed up, and
Yeah.
it's yeah.
It all started with.
I'm sorry.
We have a lot of feelings.
We have
here,
a lot of
Tabs.
feelings.
Can we all just cry for a while?
Yeah,
'Cause
I think we-
not necessarily about Kevin Spacey,
No, let's just
but
like
I
no,
can
no,
cry.
no. Let's just schedule out like 5 minutes of
Cut to
sobbing.
like a clip of all of us just in tears breaking
Sobbing.
down.
Yeah.
Catch me at 3 a.m, I'll be there. But it all started with Ben Rapp said when he was 14, he was at a party and Kevin Spacey kind of like came on to him. He said he like laid on top of him and then tried to get him to like not leave the party. So obviously creepy
And
as
like,
hell.
what a really weird way to like trap someone at a party.
Yeah,
like rather than just like awkwardly standing in front of them, like, hey, I'm gonna talk to you awkwardly so you can't leave. I'm just going to like envelop you on like a couch.
We've all been.
I don't
we all
think
struggle
that
with this
have
every
all been
weekend.
there. I don't think that's
No, we have not. Well, every man in Hollywood's been there, apparently.
Apparently.
That was a nice little
Quip, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Harvey Weinstein's trash.
Yeah.
But no, a big point of controversy was that, kind of as an excuse, I don't know, it's weird. When the reports came out, Kevin Spacey was like, I don't remember that happening. I'm sorry if it did, which like, sorry is not really a good way to make up for pedophilia. But
No, it's
but then
not.
he was like, also I'm gay, which that's
That's
not an excuse.
It's
No.
also a really narcissistic thing to say because he's like, oh, people like gay people now. Like, I guess I can come out. Like,
Yeah,
That's
because he's
not-
always been a private person, and that's his
Yeah.
excuse for not coming out. Because it's been like rumored that he's gay for a long
yeah,
time.
and he's played a lot of gay characters.
Yeah,
House of Cards just kind of like amplified it.
Yeah.
but yeah, so sort of like as his excuse, like I don't get why he came out because he was like, "Don't be mad, I'm gay." Which,
Yeah,
like,
that's essentially that's what he was saying.
yeah, which like there's already this like awful connotation of like gay people being pedophiles, which isn't true.
No.
And
But
so
it
like,
happens apparently.
yeah, so like don't add to the fire, Kevin. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he didn't like consider his statement. Like he just said it for his own benefit.
Yeah.
Which isn't. No, that's
Yeah.
not okay.
He picked the worst time to
Yeah.
come, like ever to come out.
Yeah.
He could have just like accepted these statements, even if he was just going to be like, "Oh, I kind of forgot about
Right.
that."
Yeah.
But no,
No.
you can't do that. Like you can't just sit there and just be like, "So this happened. I'm gay."
I
They're like, so Kevin, you murdered 6 people. No, I'm gay.
you know, I have to stop using that excuse.
He
No,
just-
you're still fine.
He straight up just deflected that. He was like,
Yeah.
"Nope," and
Yeah.
just kept on moving with his life.
I'm interested to see how, like, because he's gonna have to put some more statements out because people keep coming out and accusing him. But I'm interested to see how he does that because his publicist dropped him.
Yeah, I hope he's like,
For
I'm
a
more
good
gay.
reason. Yeah, he just like, decides to like take it up a notch, just like it becomes like ultra gay.
He's like, I'm a drag queen, actually.
I used to be private, but not anymore.
It turns out he's been Meryl Streep the whole time.
That explains so much about great actors.
Who knew? But yeah, there's like, why didn't he just like come out at like Thanksgiving like everyone else who wants to do
Yes.
awkwardly? Like,
Yes.
come on,
At the
Kevin.
family dinner, just in front of everyone, while everyone just sat down and got their
Yeah.
food, and they finished fighting about politics. He's like, "But I'm gay."
Yeah, and then the politics starts.
And then it all starts again. That's what he should have done. That would have been fine. Like he just needed time to like let this simmer. Because let's be
Yeah.
honest, like even though it's really awful, it's gonna be forgotten, unfortunately.
That's the sad
Yeah,
thing.
that is sad.
And this this is gonna sound so bad. I'm gonna try and phrase this as well as possible. I think it would all these sexual assault accusations would be more impactful if they all weren't at once.
Yes.
Because kind of in the same way that like people become numb to like all the mass shootings because they just happen one after another.
Yeah.
I think with the Harvey Weinstein thing, people really cared and people were like, this is awful, we have to make a change. But then people were like, also Kevin Spacey, also this, also
Yeah.
like every movie executive right now has that sexual assault like
It like
allegations
started
against
with
them.
like Bill Cosby and then
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
never stopped. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you just always hear about it.
And
Yeah.
so now people are just numb to it. They're like, oh, Kevin Spacey raped someone. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But
It
like,
happens.
It can't be like that. And
Right.
you brought up the fact that like with Harvey Weinstein, like while like all the accusations against him like piled up like at once, it seemed like really credible because like he had like actual accounts like back like in the 80s there was like police reports and like
Yeah.
like instances then, but like with Kevin Spacey there's not. But I was thinking on this earlier and I think it's because the fact that his victims were children.
That's true.
And they didn't have a platform to like they couldn't like go to the police or like go to their parents because like they just couldn't. Like versus like when you're an adult you can. And you have like accounts of that. But they just like pushed it down and repressed it and like felt shameful about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like that shouldn't diminish from the credibility of what they're saying at all.
Yeah.
I don't want it to.
I don't want it to either, but I do think
I'm worried that will
I think
happen.
that in the public eye it will because like
Yeah.
even though with Harvey Weinstein we had tons and tons of like police reports and like him paying people off and like all this stuff for a year. Now it's turned into like literally women in Hollywood with like zero proof, which I'm not saying I don't believe them. I absolutely believe.
Yeah.
When a woman comes out and says she's been harassed, I believe them. I'm the one who I'm more of a person who I'll believe the victim first.
It's my instinct to believe the victim. No matter men, women, it's like just
any
innate.
men, women, anyone. Like I'll believe the victim first. But when they're coming forward with zero proof other than just saying it, and so people are just kind of like, at this point, they're like, okay, are you just trying to get your 5 minutes of fame? Like, do you just want to be the next person being talked about?
Yeah.
And that sucks.
It does
Which
suck.
it's not good to say. I wish these people wouldn't all come out at once. Like, I don't want to be like, don't talk about your sexual assault. But I think because they're all talking about it at once, I think it's all just going to be like piled together and forgotten about this. I guarantee, like this time next month, next year, maybe people will have like stopped talking about this.
Yeah, I think the people coming out like don't have this forethought or like this insight. They're like, I have to share my story now.
Yeah.
Like you do, but it's.
Let's think of it this way, I guess, or I'll ask you this. Do you think so many people are coming out, it's making it more comfortable for them to come out? Or do you think that they've just decided on their own?
No, I think there's like a certain level of comfortable that like you've kind of realized that, hey, if they believe this woman, maybe they'll believe me too. Because like I think that's the main reason a lot of people don't come out is they're afraid they'll lose their career and they're afraid no one will believe them because that's how it was in the past. And now I think that they're starting to see that actresses can keep their jobs and people like stand behind them, that other actresses and actors feel comfortable to be like, hey, me too.
And if they don't, then like, how long do you go with like, if like 30 people like all of a sudden are just like, this guy has done horrible things. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my God, yeah. And then like a year later you say something, is everyone gonna say, why didn't you say anything then?
Yeah.
So I feel like they're like stuck in this like catch-22 kind of situation where it's like, I either come out and then I look like I'm lying in a sense, which why would you lie about that in the first place? That's why I'm like, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not just gonna like say that for your 5 minutes of fame. That's an awful situation.
Especially when you're like coming out and like saying this happened to me.
Yeah,
like,
so you're like, this is a personal experience that like has happened.
People just in their lives, like with like not being in the public eye, feel like threatened to say that.
Exactly.
So like coming out to everybody and saying it's a huge thing.
But then like if you wait a certain amount of time, do you want to be that person that's just like, I don't want to like, in a sense, like hop on like the bandwagon in a sense and then be forgotten?
Well, because that's what a lot of people are saying about Ben Rapp is it happened to him when he was.
Sorry.
Anthony Rapp. I don't know anything. He was in Rent. But a lot of people were saying about him that, you know, it happened when you were 14. Why didn't you come out now? Why did you wait? I read an article that said, why did he wait until it's cool to be sexually assaulted? Which, like,
what a horrible title. Jesus.
Like, that's awful. Like, that's terrible. It's not cool. It's just, like we said, people are comfortable. So people are, like, complaining, like, why did you wait so long? Which, like, it's not an easy thing to talk about.
Yeah, that's not something that you just in your everyday life you're going to bring up like, oh, by the way, I was sexually assaulted. And they're like, excuse me?
At age 14 by a superstar actor.
Exactly.
Who has had power and continues to gain more power and be loved.
Yeah.
Like, he was the president.
He was the president.
I feel like in like multiple media, he was the president in multiple media. Like even in Call of Duty, he was the president.
Really?
Yeah, because he played in like I think it was Black Ops 2.
Oh my God!
He was,
I had no idea that.
I can't believe I have to play Black Ops.
I can't remember.
Oh, wait,
it was one of the Call of Duties. I've mixed them all up because they all look the same at this point.
See, it's so hard.
Yeah, I forgot.
But
Kevin
like,
Spacey's bad now.
No, seriously, one of my favorite movies is American Beauty, and like today I had the thought, I was like, I'm gonna watch it, then I was like, better not.
You can watch American Beauty for the 80th time, but you can't watch a horror movie, Mayzie.
I have priorities, Matthew.
Okay, I'd say you can play the game if you get to kill him, then it's fine.
Okay, there you go.
We'll give justification, but I don't know because I haven't played a campaign in years.
Yeah, but like following this, like Netflix, like at first they were like, okay, we're gonna like stop production on House of Cards for a second, but now it's come out that like this season's the last one. Rip. But like justified.
You can't continue at this point.
Yeah, no one knows what to do. Everyone's like so shaken up by it.
You're stuck.
Hollywood's a weird place right now because like no one wants to work with people who are accused of sexual assault, but also everyone's accused of sexual assault.
Apparently, yeah.
So like, where do you guys stand on? Are you going to watch movies made by the Weinstein Company? Are you going to do whatever?
Oh my gosh, Carol, my favorite movie.
Oh, babe.
What noise is happening? But no.
I think, unfortunately, I feel so bad for saying it. I don't think with the way Hollywood is right now, I don't think you can avoid it because I want to watch Carol and I want to watch movies like.
Lana Del Rey actually came out because you know the song Cola.
Yeah, I didn't know she. What?
Well, she came out, not came out.
Okay. Different.
Lana.
I know, I'm sorry. No, she said that because I mean, like, it's been hinted that, like, that song's about Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
Harvey's in the sky with that. Like, let's be real. Like, she came out and said she's retiring the song. She, like, won't perform it anymore because of this.
And I feel like that is, like, the good example of it. But, like, I feel like watching a movie by, like, the Weinstein Company isn't just Harvey Weinstein. Like,
You're supporting a lot of people.
Yeah, there's
You
a
might
lot of
be-
people that
yeah.
put work into this, so it's like I'm not gonna like completely like boycott like Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, and also,
like
like-
I'll boycott him, but not his company.
Right.
Like in a sense, but like Kevin Spacey, like I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch something by him now, and if he's
Yeah.
in something, then I feel like I'm just gonna negatively view it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, boycott the person, not the rest of the people's hard work.
Yeah. Additionally, if you watch something by the Weinstein Company, you might be supporting an actress or actor that was assaulted by him.
Yeah.
So, like, and, like, they're still important. Like, their work mattered. So,
You're constantly just
that.
stuck in this like horrible bubble because
Yeah.
people are awful.
What
Wish
a
we had the
weird world
answers.
we live in. That's all I have for you guys. Like, God, any final thoughts besides like life's awful? Horror movies are cool. That's my final thought.
I'm-
You know what? Like, yeah, let's end it on a good note. Horror
I
movies
like
are
horror
great.
movies.
It Follows is awful. That's my.
I need to go, like, just sit and think for, like, 4 hours.
Tyler's upset me deeply. That's all we have this
Yeah.
week. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Mayzie.
I'm Mayzie Brammer.
I'm Tyler.
That seemed like a very genuine ending
That
to
was
a
a
story.
genuine
Oh,
I have to burp really bad.
I honestly felt like the whole time my mic was slowly slipping. It just comes charging in, counts down.
I love you, baby.